Egypt is a place of wonder. It is a land of vast deserts, the life-giving Nile River, and a history that stretches back into the mists of time. Thousands of years ago, people began to build their lives along the fertile banks of the Nile. They did not just survive, they thrived. They constructed magnificent cities that pulsed with life and commerce. They also built enormous stone monuments and mysterious tombs. This ancient civilization, born from the river's silt, created a legacy so powerful that its echoes still resonate in our modern world, inviting us to look back and marvel at their incredible achievements. A single fact can sometimes be enough to stop you in your tracks and make you think. For nearly 4 millennia, nothing built by human hands could surpass its towering height. It was only with the arrival of modern engineering and steel-framed skyscrapers that this ancient record was finally broken. This remarkable feat is a powerful testament to the extraordinary skill, knowledge, and sheer determination of the builders who lived so very long ago. They moved mountains of stone with simple tools and immense effort, creating a monument for the ages. Why do we still care so much about this ancient world? The answer lies in the human story it tells. The ancient Egyptians were people just like us. They had families, they worked hard, they felt joy and sorrow, and they dreamed of the future. They wrestled with the great questions of life, death, and what lies beyond. Their monuments and treasures are not just cold stones and gold objects. They are windows into the human spirit. Life in ancient Egypt was fundamentally shaped by the Nile River. This mighty waterway was the heart and soul of the nation. Its annual flood, a predictable miracle that brought life to an otherwise arid land. The river's gentle rise and fall deposited a rich, dark layer of silt, creating incredibly fertile soil along its banks. This natural gift made agriculture the backbone of their society. Farmers cultivated fields of wheat and barley, essential for making the staples of their diet, bread and beer. They also grew an abundance of vegetables like onions, garlic, and lettuce, using simple wooden plows and hand tools to work the land. Their lives were a constant dance with the river's rhythm. The typical Egyptian family lived in a modest home constructed from mud bricks. These houses were designed to stay cool, often with small windows and flat roofs where people could sleep on warm nights. Inside, the household was a hub of activity, grinding grain, baking flatbreads, and brewing beer, which was a source of both nutrition and celebration. Children played, their laughter echoing through the village streets. A surprising fact: ancient Egyptian workers on major state projects like the pyramids were not slaves. They were skilled laborers who were paid in rations, bread, beer, and other foodstuffs. They lived in organized communities near the sites, with their own bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. These were national endeavors powered by a dedicated and valued workforce. Religion permeated daily life. Ordinary people wore amulets and made offerings to household gods. They believed divine forces influenced everything from the harvest to childbirth. Spirituality was woven into routine, giving meaning to the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, mirroring the Nile's rhythm. At the pinnacle stood the pharaoh, a figure of immense power and divine authority, charged to uphold Ma'at, truth, justice, and harmony. If the pharaoh ruled wisely, the gods were pleased, the Nile flooded predictably, and Egypt prospered. Their divine status showed in appearance and regalia, elaborate crowns, even a false beard signifying divinity. Their bodies shone with gold and precious stones, lapis lazuli and turquoise. A pharaoh's name, sacred in an oval cartouche, was protected for eternity. To speak it was to invoke power. Pharaohs secured legacy through monumental construction, colossal temples and vast, intricate tombs. Walls proclaimed victories, offerings, and their divine right to rule. Karnak grew under about 30 pharaohs across 2,000 years, becoming the largest religious building ever. Writing was one of Egypt's greatest achievements, preserving culture for millennia. Hieroglyphs could represent objects, ideas, or sounds, beautiful, complex, and precise. Scribes trained for years, copying texts on pottery and limestone ostraca under a master's guidance. Their toolkit, palette with black and red ink, a small water pot, and reed brushes. Papyrus, crafted from Nile reeds, was pressed into durable sheets and joined as scrolls. Egypt's dry climate preserved thousands: contracts, medical texts, love poems, and adventures, state and knowledge intertwined. The buildings of ancient Egypt are among the most enduring and recognizable in human history. Their resilience testifies to the skill of their architects and builders. Pyramids were sophisticated, symbolic tombs for pharaohs of the Old and Middle Kingdoms. Millions of stones were moved with sleds, ropes, and immense human effort. Religion drove this architecture, especially belief in an eternal afterlife. Bodies were preserved by removing organs, drying with natron for 40 days, and wrapping in linen with protective amulets. In the Hall of Judgment, a heart was weighed against Maat's feather. A heavy heart was devoured. The soul ceased to exist. The Book of the Dead armed the deceased to navigate dangers and pass the final test. Temples, earthly homes of the gods, were sprawling complexes of courts, halls, and sanctuaries, with forests of papyrus and lotus columns. Carvings of gods and pharaohs glowed in shafts of light, centers of economic and spiritual life that still connect us to Egypt's quest for eternity. For over a century, Egypt's priceless treasures captivated the world, but cramped displays could not do them justice. Now, the Grand Egyptian Museum, set on the Giza Plateau, brings them together in a monumental modern home. Designed to guide visitors through 5,000 years, its scale and clarity create an immersive learning journey. Its size allows long-stored artifacts to be shown at last. From farmers' lives to pharaonic rituals, the gem reveals the bigger picture across dynasties and reunites dispersed collections. For the first time, over 5,000 objects from Tutankhamun's tomb, his mask, chariots, jewelry, even linen garments, are displayed together in spacious galleries. Many restored with cutting-edge techniques, some seen publicly for the first time since 1922. Behind the scenes, curators, scientists, and restorers use advanced tools to reveal hidden stories. The GM is a living institution, bridging ancient craftsmanship and modern science to keep discovery alive. Visiting the Grand Egyptian Museum is more than a history lesson. It is an experience that forges a personal connection with the past. As you walk its halls, the stories of pharaohs, priests, and ordinary people come alive. The objects on display are tangible pieces of someone's life. The golden mask's brilliance and serene majesty give a face-to-face encounter with a king from over 33 centuries ago. Humble wooden figures reveal how ordinary people dressed, worked, and lived. Reliefs, like pages of an ancient comic, let images and words tell living stories. Some objects slept in darkness for 3,000 years. Seeing them now is opening a time capsule. In the end, Egypt's story is our story, of building, dreaming, and caring. The Grand Egyptian Museum protects this precious legacy.